Today we'll be ranking the neighborhoods from our least to most favorite, this time at EPCOT. Hello and welcome to the Let's Go to Disney podcast. I'm Oliver.
And I'm Lucy.
Today is Sunday, November 9th, and you're listening to episode 113, Ranking the Neighborhoods at EPCOT. Before we get into today's main topic, here's what's going on in the parks right now. Friday night was the first Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party of the season, which was November 7th, and the first Jollywood Nights of the season was last night, which was November 8th. These are going to continue on select nights in November and December, and tickets are already sold out for most dates. So if you're wanting to go, you may be out of luck if you don't already have your tickets. Also, if you have a trip in the next couple of months and you don't plan on attending either event, make sure that you're still aware of what nights the parties are, because the parks are going to close early on party nights. And if that's the day you're planning your Magic Kingdom Day or your Hollywood Studios Day, it's just good to know that going in, right? So you can either move things around or plan to hop to another park before it closes, for the day for day guests, essentially.
Yes, I'm sure there's been a lot of people who have not realized that it closes early for parties and then get ruined out, get their one Magic Kingdom Day cut short, and that would not be fun.
Guaranteed
so
that's happened,
it's definitely a good thing to know what the dates are ahead of time.
Agreed, 100%, yeah. And Disney also announced that the new bar inside the Grand Floridian lobby will be named The Perch, and it's opening tomorrow on November 10th. They shared a reel showcasing the design of the bar, which is inspired by the original birdcage that was in the lobby. There are beautiful stained glass mosaics and intricate details inlaid in the bar that complements the newly refurbished lobby, and it fits in really well with the rest of the space. They also shared a peek at the menu, which will feature champagne, wine, beer, and two signature cocktails, the Coffee Rum Sazerac and the Floridian 75. For a non-alcoholic option, they'll also have the blueberry and basil iced tea, which is a blend of lemon, blueberry, and basil tea. Zootopia Better Zoogether is now officially open to all guests as of November 7th. Next time you're in Animal Kingdom, make sure to check out the brand new show, which is in the base of the Tree of Life Theater. And that's, again, replacing It's Tough to Be a Bug, which closed a few months ago.
Jungle Cruise has officially been converted into Jingle Cruise for the holiday season. This attraction has had a resurgence since the movie came out a few years ago, and even more so during the holiday season. So it's definitely a good use of a lightning lane if you are purchasing multipass for your park visit. If not, be prepared for a bit or a lot of a wait.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
popular.
It definitely is. But that's a good point, is that it's open, like it has its overlay all the time.
That's right.
Not just during party hours.
That's right.
So if you are going to the party, don't think that you have to save it for party hours. You can go first thing.
Absolutely. And a friendly reminder that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure over in EPCOT will close temporarily from November 10th through to the 13th to transition the attraction from 3D to 2D. It is a really short turnaround, and other lighting and then set elements as well will be coming to the attraction over the next few months. I'm assuming they'll just do it in kind of spurts.
Yeah, exactly.
Over in California, we got an opening date for the Storybook Canal boats that had been closed for refurbishment. It is officially going to reopen on November 14th, which added the miniature Rapunzel's Tower and other Tangled details and the songs from this film as well. This was an addition that Disney announced a few weeks ago, so it is nice to see it reopen just in time for the holidays at Disneyland. Still on the West Coast, Disney Parks blog also dropped their foodie guide for Festival of the Holidays over at Disney's California Adventure. They have a ton of delicious treats and sips at this year's festival, so if you are headed to DCA soon, make sure to take advantage of that. The festival is set to run November 14th through to January 7th. We should see the foodie guide for Epcot's Festival of the Holidays in the next couple of weeks as well. That's always an exciting thing to see.
Exactly. And I believe it starts on November 28th, maybe 29th. I don't know. I know it's the last couple of days of November, but usually it's like around 2 weeks or so before the festival actually launches.
That's
so I'm going to say probably this week.
I think you're probably right about that.
So aside from that, it's crunch time for us. Today is Sunday and we leave for Orlando on Wednesday. We've been getting ready just this weekend, right? Just cleaning the house. We also took down all of our Halloween decorations, and we actually just finished decorating for Christmas earlier this afternoon.
A little bit earlier than we normally would.
Yeah.
We'd probably be 1 week from now decorating, but we just wanted it all done for when we do come back.
That's right, because we come back on the 22nd, and it's going to be busy then too, so we just wanted to get that done before we leave. Yeah.
Actually, it's a big weight off the shoulders for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And we're also recording 2 episodes over the next couple of days because... So essentially, we're recording this one today, and then we'll probably record again tomorrow or Tuesday. But that second episode is not going to release until the following week, which is going to be November 18th. This one is releasing on our normal schedule, so Tuesday. And then the following week, which released on November 18th, we're actually going to be in the middle of our cruise on that day. And then we disembark on the 21st. We have one night at Disney and we're doing Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And then, we come home on the 22nd.
That's right.
Yeah. And what we'll more than likely do a trip recap just of our experiences at Epic Universe, right? And then on the Disney Wish and at the party as well.
Literally this entire trip is a first for our kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of firsts for you and I as well. But for the kids, every single thing we're doing is a first for them.
Never been to Universal Orlando, never been on a cruise, and never been to an after hours event.
That's right. So it's very exciting. So we can't wait to tell you guys all about that when we get back.
Yeah, totally.
It's definitely been a whirlwind here, and we're not done yet. We haven't even started packing. So that's going to be a priority over the next couple of days. Unfortunately, I have to work tomorrow, which I really, really wish I didn't have to, but it's okay. I'll get in there early and get home early, and Oliver's actually home. And our kids are currently at my parents' house for a sleepover, so Oliver's going to get a lot of things done too while he has the house to himself all day tomorrow.
I'll get the suitcases up and start folding clothes, and the
last couple days is always chaos, but we always get it done. So we leave bright and early on Wednesday morning. We're flying to Calgary for a quick layover and then direct to Orlando from there. So far, we have not been affected by everything going on with the FAA and the shutdown, but we are keeping a close eye on that. Assuming there's no issues there, we've got 3 nights at Portofino Bay at Universal and then 2 days at the original parks, so Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. We are then going to switch to the Helios Grand. We've got 2 nights there and 2 days at Epic. After that, we're going to board the Wish for our 4-night cruise, stopping at Nassau and Castaway Cay. And then the day that we disembark, which is November 21st, we check in at the Coronado. And then that's the night that we're going to do Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. And then we fly home early the next day. So it's going to be a whirlwind, but it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, it's a busy trip for sure with lots of, like we were saying, first for both us and the kids. But we're all ready. We're all really, really looking forward to it. Plus, we officially have snow on the ground here, right? So we're not mad about leaving that behind for some warmer weather. So with that said, let's get into today's main topic, which is ranking each neighborhood at EPCOT. So we've covered the lands at both Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios, and today we're continuing that with EPCOT. So EPCOT is pretty unique because of the World Showcase. So it's actually laid out differently than most of the other Disney parks kind of around the world, right? And just like Disney Springs, it's split into neighborhoods or worlds, not like traditional lands like it is at the other parks. These are World Celebration, World Discovery, and World Nature. And then, of course, you have the World Showcase. We'll work our rankings a little differently than we did for our Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios episodes as well. So we're going to rank World Celebration, Discovery, and Nature from 3, 2, 1, basically, right? From our least to most favorite. And then we'll actually rank the countries in the World Showcase from like least to most favorite as well. But that's actually going to be another episode because that deserves its own episode for sure. And otherwise, this would have been well over an hour.
Agreed. 100%. That we can talk a lot about the World Showcase.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into it. So at number 3 for the neighborhoods at the front of the park, we are sliding World Celebration into that slot. So World Celebration is basically the center of the front of the park. So when you first walk in, you'll find guest relations on your right, and then the stroller, wheelchair, and ECV rentals on your left. The first attraction you're going to come to is Spaceship Earth, and honestly, you can't really miss it. It's that giant geodesic sphere. It is, if you miss it, you really weren't paying attention.
Well, it's like what Walt called them, the weenies, right? Which is what the eye is drawn to when you are essentially coming to the park. And
that's a big massive. Weenie.
Yeah, you're not missing it. Yeah, you didn't think that's the way it would come out, did it? That's funny. God.
Okay. All right. Let's stop being childish and keep moving on here.
Yeah.
So Spaceship Earth rarely has a long line, only during busier days when it starts to creep over 20 minutes. If it says that, you know it is a long wait. Outside of that, the wait time is usually very, very manageable. It's a dark, slow ride that takes you through a brief human history narrated by none other than Dame Judi Dench. It's a decently long attraction, clocking in right around 16 minutes. This is a classic at EPCOT for sure. So you should definitely do this one at least once during your trip, just to say that you did do it. It is a great one on a hot day to get out of the heat, sit down, even have a little snooze as you're climbing
Yeah.
up the sphere.
Yeah, it's dark and it's cool. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I've dozed off in this attraction on more than one occasion.
It's a nice 16-minute rest.
That's the thing. And it's not because it's boring, but the seats have like a high back essentially. So you can like rest your head and then it kind of goes slowly up.
Her voice is just like chit-chatting.
And it's like a slow ride up, right? And then it takes you kind of around like that starry scene and then you come back down.
Yeah. So it's very easy to just close your eyes for a minute.
Yeah. Totally. It's a thing. Anyways, on the far side of Spaceship Earth is the new area of World Celebration that was walled off for the better part of 5 years. So this circle area is essentially full of greenery and like places to sit. In the middle is shaped like the EPCOT logo. And there's actually like lights inlaid in the ground there, which looks really cool after the sun sets. There's also Dreamer's Point, which has a Walt figure that you can actually take your photo with. He's kind of like sitting down. And there's always a PhotoPass cast member here as well to capture your photo. Don't forget that they also can take a photo with your phone if you don't have, Memory Maker or like any the PhotoPass package tied to your annual pass. You can still essentially ask them nicely to take a photo with your phone and they will do that. And then there's also PhotoPass cast members in front of that center piece, kind of like in the middle of the logo there as well, with like Spaceship Earth in the background, which also makes for a really good photo.
Agreed. Yeah. And then to your left, when you are facing the World Showcase, you have Connections Eatery and Connections Cafe. Connections Eatery is a large quick service with lots of options that's going to appeal to most guests, everything from burgers, salads, pizzas, and more. There's also a lot of seating here, a washroom, and then a separate water bottle refill station. We hit this one up every single time.
Yeah, it's essentially a thoroughfare between that space and then World Discovery on the other side.
Yeah, we pretty much cut through there almost every trip.
Yep.
Handful of times a day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And then in that same space, just around the corner, but in the same building is Connections Cafe, which is the Starbucks location in the park. It's large with 2 queues, just like they have at the other Starbucks in the other parks. They have all of your standard Starbucks options, as well as a bit of merch too. And then across from there, there's a walkway that leads to World Discovery, but there's another building right next to it, which is Creations Shop. This is the massive merchandise store, the biggest in the park. And honestly, we'd say the main one. For sure.
I would say the main one. Absolutely. It's massive in there. And they have everything from like mini ears, lounge flies, home goods, toys, apparel, and pretty much anything you could want. You're going to be able to find
Absolutely.
here.
It's huge.
Yeah. And then Club Cool is just essentially attached to that right next to it. And here you can taste Coca-Cola products from around the world, including the notorious Beverly. And you can also purchase some regular Coke products as well. They also have merchandise in here too, kind of like the Coke store over at Disney Springs, just not quite as big. And then on the other side of the hub is Communicore Hall. So this space is kind of a jack of all trades. So it's recently been used as a showcase space for the different EPCOT festivals throughout the year. It's had displays themed to the festival, merchandise, sometimes food as well. And outside of that, it's being used as kind of a quiet place to sit down and relax. If you're there during one of the festivals throughout the year, essentially, it's definitely worth a stop here just to check out what they have going on, like for sure. Because like I was there earlier this year during Festival of the Arts and they had a whole Disney on Broadway of thing. So it's definitely worth checking out.
Yes, absolutely. And then in the same building, you have the new meet and greet location for Mickey and Friends. Here you can meet and greet with the different characters, including Mickey, of course, Minnie, Goofy, Pluto, Daisy, among others that will sometimes rotate. It is definitely best practice to check with cast members or on the My Disney Experience app leading up to and on your trip to find out who is going to be meeting there. There is also a food booth attached to the building as well that will rotate their offerings based on whatever festival is going on as well. And then literally right next to this is Communicore Plaza. The space has synthetic grass and a stage to watch performances from. Right now, it hosts the Celebración Encanto. So this is a mix of trivia, dances, and sing-alongs hosted by your favorite Encanto characters like Mirabelle and Bruno, among others. It'll host different shows here as well, depending on the time of year and what's going on at the park. Again, this is all brand new. It's the area right in the middle of the park that has been walled off for far too long. So it's really nice to have this area finally opened up, no more walls. And it's actually just a really great spot. Like there's a lot of places too where you can like just chill. And I like that about it.
Yeah, there's seating and like greenery. It's just a nice space.
Very peaceful almost.
Yeah, agreed. And have that soft music as well.
Yes,
playing.
exactly.
I love it there. And just up and to the right from there, you have the Imagination Pavilion. This is home to Journey into Imagination with Figment. This is a dark slow ride featuring Figment, the little purple dragon that kind of has a cult following for sure.
He's very popular.
Yeah, and it's not a must-do by any means unless you have emotional ties to Figment, and we don't. So we've only ever ridden it twice, I think, and that's plenty.
So. I don't even know if we've taken our kids on it.
No, I don't think they have. And then right next to that, you also have ImageWorks, the What If Labs, which is an interactive play area as you exit that attraction. And then right next to it, you have Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. Here, you're going to be given a pair of 3D glasses, and you'll get to watch 3 short films back to back, which includes some in-theater effects. And then that whole show lasts like just under 20 minutes. And there's also exhibits outside the theater showcasing the creative processes behind the shorts and the stories, essentially, and the characters for those. So yeah, it's a good spot to get off your feet and into some AC for a little bit.
Absolutely.
And that's World Celebration in a nutshell. There's a couple of attractions in here, right? So Spaceship Earth, it's a classic for sure, and Figment as well for some people, right? There's great dining and shopping in World Celebration too, with like Creations Shop and Creations Eatery. We usually stop at Starbucks
Always.
At least a couple times.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just love the refresh with Community Core Hall and Plaza. It looks really crisp over there. But yeah, the other neighborhoods just have a bit more to offer. So we're leaving World Celebration at number 3.
I completely agree with this. So coming in at number 2, we are slotting World Nature. When you come into the park via the front entrance, this is going to be the area to the right of Spaceship Earth, which is the large ball at the park, for those of who don't know that there's an attraction in there. So when you first enter World Nature, on your right, you're going to see the Seas Pavilion. There are several things in here. First up is the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is a slow Omnimover dark ride. It's themed to Finding Nemo, obviously, and it has a mix of screens and set elements. The ride vehicles are shells, and it's overall just a very cute attraction. It never has a long wait, but in our opinion, it is very cute, and you should definitely stop here during your EPCOT day for sure. Once upon a time, this attraction was actually wildly popular, but now the wait only gets long when the park is really, really busy, or if it's like raining and people just need to get out, because it's actually quite a long queue.
It is, yeah.
So people probably escape there.
Yeah, exactly. And then the pavilion is also home to Coral Reef Restaurant. The inside of the restaurant is themed to the ocean, right? With blue accents and blue lighting throughout. And actually they have like projections on the ceiling that kind of make it look like shimmering water, which is kind of cool. There's also massive glass windows that look out into the aquarium at the pavilion. The theming is actually what makes the restaurant here because, yeah, it's a seafood-centric restaurant, which makes sense, right? But it's really just okay. So your kids might appreciate the aquarium views in here, but there's much better options in terms of food at the park to grab a meal.
Agreed.
For sure. And if you want to see the aquariums without eating at Coral Reef, you can absolutely do that. There, you can just walk into the pavilion and check out the aquarium. And that's actually named the Sea Base Aquarium. And you're going to be able to see different species of marine life, right? Which is pretty cool. They also have smaller aquariums, which house clownfish, right? So the fish like Nemo.
Yep.
And the regal blue tangs. I had to look that up. I didn't know that, but that's the dory.
I always call it the dory fish.
Yeah, exactly. And then they have eels, starfish, among other things as well. And then aside from that, you also have Turtle Talk with Crush, which is an interactive show with Crush, obviously on a screen, kind of like I would say it's like a more intimate version of Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor over at Magic Kingdom.
Because it's smaller, hey?
Exactly, yeah. And this show, it's about 15 minutes long, and it's essentially fun for your younger kids, or if you have big Finding Nemo fans in your party.
Yeah, that's right. You also have the Sea Base gift shop in here as well, which is a small merchandise location. And then back outside and across the walkway, you have the Journey of Water inspired by Moana. This is a walkthrough with fun water elements that you can interact with. There's a wet path and a dry path if you prefer to not get any water on you whatsoever. There's a large Tafiti topiary in here as well, which is really, really beautiful. And this is like a great photo op.
Sure. Absolutely, yeah.
It's like primo. And then our kids love this walkthrough. They really like playing with the water elements. And if not, it's just honestly a really fun attraction to walk through for sure. And then a little further up there on your right is the Land Pavilion, which we would say is the main pavilion in this neighborhood, or certainly the one that attracts the most attention. So in here, you've got Soarin' Around the World, which is a classic attraction. It has you board a simulated glider, and then you're going to soar over a large screen with various cutscenes from around the world. This is a must-do for us every single trip. It is such a good attraction for sure. It's just perfect. I love this one.
Yeah, that's right. And then next to Soarin' is Livin' with the Land. This is a slow boat ride that takes you through some dark scenes, which showcase nature. And the second part is a ride through the various crops and fish farms that Disney raises in the pavilion, some of which are used for culinary purposes in the park, which is pretty cool. This is a classic in our opinion and another must-do on every trip.
Every single time.
Yeah, and it actually gets a really fun overlay as well during the holidays, and it becomes glimmering greenhouses, which is, it's just fun to check out for sure. It'll sometimes get longer waits during like the Christmas season for that reason alone. And I actually also did the behind the seats tour here this past January. It's a 1-hour walking tour of the pavilion. And you get essentially a bit of a lesson on how they care for the crops and how that all operates. I actually really enjoyed that, and I would highly recommend it. I'd say it's probably the most accessible tour even for little kids. And then they give you cucumber as well to sample from.
Can't beat that. Fresh cucumber from Disney.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then you also have 2 restaurants in here, a quick service and a table service. The quick service is named Sunshine Seasons. It has a ton of options and plenty of seating, so it's good. It's a good place to stop. And it's going to please a lot of people in terms of its offerings sure.
Yeah, this is usually our go-to for us for like a lunchtime if the kids
Sandwiches,
need something a little bit heavier.
Sticks and
they have
things
some
like
really
that.
good healthy options here, which we appreciate.
Yeah, 100%. The table service is named Garden Grill. It's a character dining experience for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The food is served family style, and you get to meet and greet with Chip, Dale, as well as Mickey and Pluto. The restaurant also rotates, and it overlooks certain areas of the Living with the Land attraction, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And then that's pretty much it for World Nature. There are some solid attractions here. Soarin', Living with the Land, and the Moana walkthrough, and then Sunshine Seasons and Garden Grill are good options as well. But there's definitely better attractions and dining in the rest of the park. So yeah, World Nature comes in at number 2, definitely for us.
Yep.
And then coming in at number 1 is World Discovery. So when you're coming in the front of the park, this will be the area to the left of World Celebration. So when you walk through Connection Cafe or the walkway that splits Connections and Creations, the first attraction you're going to come up to on your left is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And in our opinion, this is currently, because there's a lot of new ones coming up soon.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot coming. Yeah.
That could surpass, you never know. But like I said, this is currently the best attraction, not just in this park, but the best attraction across all of Walt Disney World property. I stake my reputation on that one. It is 100% the best ride.
Agreed.
It is a dark roller omni coaster, meaning your ride vehicle will move along a classical track. For the ride vehicle itself, it rotates 360 degrees, which makes it such a unique experience. And it is such a smooth ride as well. Silky smooth, honestly. And we really, really love this one. And so do most people for good reason. Our kids also love this one. Hands down, this is probably their favorite one too, I'm pretty sure. Or a close second, if anything.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely take as many opportunities as possible to ride this one for sure. I wish so much we could relive this one.
Relive the first time we rode it, 100%. Because
we didn't know what to expect. Nobody had ever spoiled it for us. We didn't know what to expect.
No, and and even if somebody kind of tells you what it's like, you're right. There's nothing quite like experiencing it, right? So I just couldn't wipe the smile off my face for a few hours after that. And the kids too, like Lucy said, they just loved it.
Yeah.
And then to the left of Guardians is Mission Space, which is probably one of the most despised attractions on property, which is kind of funny that it's right next to Guardians. But yeah, this is essentially a space simulator. It was developed actually to have you experience actual G-forces, and it definitely does that. It's quite the experience. There are 2 sides to the attraction. So the green side that still has you feel the simulator effects, just not quite as intense. And then the orange side, which is super fun, but is very vomit-inducing for a lot of folks. So if you have motion sickness or feel iffy in simulators of any kind, this is going to be your worst nightmare. You've been warned. Yeah,
absolutely.
In the friendliest way. And then as you exit that attraction, you come out into the advanced training lab, which has some interactive kind of space-themed video games thing that you can play with. Your kids are likely going to enjoy that. Our son likes playing here. After we ride this one.
He does, yeah. And then right next to the entrance to Mission Space is the entrance to one of the most popular dining reservations in this park, and that is Space 220. This is a whole experience. So when you check in, cast members are going to give you a ticket to Centauri Space Station. You then take an elevator that takes you 220 miles above Earth, where you're going to dine at the space station. The inside of the restaurant has windows looking out into space where you can see the outline of Earth, spaceships, astronauts, even floating astronaut dogs.
Yeah.
The main dining room is a prix-fixe meal, and it is quite expensive, we will say that, but it's a really fun experience, and we have enjoyed every single meal we've had here. We've eaten in the main dining room twice, and then at the lounge once. Note that this is a lounge that also requires advanced dining reservations, but it is worth it because you are in the same space. You get the same great experience, but you're likely to end up paying less because you are ordering a la carte items. You're not tied to that prefix menu, which is actually pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a good way to save some money because I think it's $79 for adults. So yeah, even if you have, like let's say, I don't know, a hamburger and a drink, it's still going to be way less expensive.
And you're still sitting in the exact same space as everybody else, looking out at everything that there is to offer.
Yeah, exactly.
Visually.
Exactly. And next to Space 220 is the newly reopened Test Track. So despite what others might have you believe, this is actually the fastest attraction at Walt Disney World. It's faster than Tron, Rock and Roller Coaster, Guardians. It's just point blank the fastest, topping out at 65 miles per hour when you're kind of in that outside portion of the attraction. You used to be able to build your own car on the kind of interactive screens in the front of the queue, but that's all gone now. It has a refresh queue area, refresh scenes during the indoor portion of the attraction as well. So if you haven't ridden it since the refurb, make sure to check it out during your next trip. We actually have not ridden it yet, the refurb version, but from what we've seen, it's definitely been a welcome update, and I'll definitely be checking that out in January for sure. And just up from there is the Odyssey Pavilion. This is a good place to grab a seat and some AC when you're making kind of the transition from the front of the park to the World Showcase or vice versa. This is also usually going to house a festival booth during the festival. So right now it's home to the Brewing Lab. This is for food and wine, right? In this building, just beside it, it's still like in the same building, but it has a separate entrance, is also the Baby Care Center and First Aid for this park. We actually stopped here a couple of trips ago. I wasn't feeling the best. We stopped here for some ibuprofen. God. Some Advil.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. You just used the common word Advil.
Yeah.
That's right. And then they gave you cold water too, which was actually really nice. It's definitely nice to have these centers in the park for unexpected things, just like what we had to do. Just needed a couple Advils to keep going, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
They are super clean and well kept too, and the cast members are so friendly and helpful as well. And honestly, that is it for World Discovery. It easily takes the top spot out of all the 3 neighborhoods in the front of the park. Guardians is just so good, and Test Track is always a good time as well, especially the refurb of it all, from what we've heard.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you have one of the most popular restaurants at Walt Disney World right now at Space 220. Honestly, if World Discovery was just Guardians, we would probably still put it at number 1 just because it's so amazing.
I know. And I know I don't want to sound like we're overhyping it, but it is. It's just such a good roller coaster. Yeah. And it's like, I don't even feel comfortable calling it a roller coaster because
it's a whole other thing. And like, honestly, if you ever sit out, like if you are just taking a break and you're sitting out of the exit doors, you'll see everybody's reactions are the same. You might get a couple queasies here and there, but honestly, that would be a hard ride to get queasy on just because it is so smooth.
It is smooth. And like, it's like a Velocicoaster.
Yes.
Over at Universal Islands of Adventure. Super smooth, right? Super fast, super thrilling. But Guardians,
great music on this one. We can't even describe it.
It's in the dark, right? So it has like elements of like showmanship, right? It's not just a coaster, but then it's the vehicle itself. Yeah. It's not just like you're forward facing and you're stuck and you're moving forward. The whole thing
you're all
spins.
over the place, and the music is just cranked, and it's like it gets you going. It's so much fun.
I Ran is my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. I like all of them. Honestly, there's so many fun ones. September is a good one.
Yeah.
And then if you've never done it before, the pre-show is fantastic as well, right? It's so much fun. Like once you've done it as many times as we have, you kind of just don't even think about the pre-show anymore. You're just kind of going through the motions of getting there. You can almost quote it by heart.
Agreed. And one thing I will say about the pre-show, and it's unfortunate, I know you know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do know.
So it is a good, like with Terry Crews.
Oh, it's excellent.
Ronnie Rayel, Glenn Close. And like the scene where, with the reactor and all that thing
is going on. There's lots of acting components from the actors from the movies.
And that's the thing. Those first 2 rooms are fine, but as soon as you're in that last room, everybody pushes to the right? It's because at this point the jig is up. Yes, the doors open to the right to go towards the attraction. By now. Yeah. Everybody knows.
You can kind of always tell who's never done it before because they're staring at the actors who are doing their bit.
But then they get FOMO.
Yes.
Right? Everybody's like, oh my God, they're moving to the right.
Okay, let's go.
Must be, and then they don't actually
even bother anymore.
But that's the thing. But then I feel like there's something lost there because people are worried about, why is everybody moving to the right? And then they're not focused on the show itself, which is awesome because Chris Pratt is there, Zoe Saldana.
All of them.
Yeah, Bradley Cooper as Rocket, right? Like it's actually like, it's funny, right? There's funny bits to it. So I find that that's a bit unfortunate. But
I would agree with you 100% on that one.
Yeah. Anyways. That was a long tangent about Guardians, but it is very good. So
it's worth the tangent.
100%. So there you have it. So World Celebration number 3, World Nature number 2, and then World Discovery firmly in there at number 1. Like we said at the start, if we got into the World Showcase pavilions today, We'd be well over an hour for
We
sure.
would be.
11 countries. There's just a lot to offer up there. So yeah, we'll dedicate an entire episode just to the World Showcase, and then we'll rank all the countries from least to most favorite.
That's going to be a good episode because honestly, there's even stuff about the World Showcase that I still have yet to discover. And we've been there so often. There's just a lot in each pavilion. So I'm excited for that one. That's going to be a good one.
We need to do more of that just to peruse around the countries.
Yeah.
With that said, thank you for joining us today to talk EPCOT. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss any future episodes. And as always, if you could leave us a rating and review, it would be greatly appreciated. If you choose to do so, you can leave reviews right on Apple Podcasts. And for Spotify, you can leave a rating.
You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at letsgo.to-Disney, as well as on our Facebook page, Let's Go to Disney. We share some helpful reels here as well as some fun ones. The link tree in the show notes will take you to all of our socials.
Have a great day, and we'll see you real soon.